Hey fellas, it's 265 Chevy here. How everybody's doing today? Today is June 20th, the last day of my vacation. Man, that sucks. But anyway, I'll show y'all what's got going on here today. Today, I am fooling with the Nissan. And y'all can see that I got a canopy, kind of give me a little shade. Even got a little fan going over there. Starting to feel like a little mechanic shop over here. But we're doing some belts, all filter, radiator flush, new cap, new rotor, new spark plugs. Time to give this thing a little loving. She's been neglected for so long, but I am having a problem with it. I talked to Ken, 1970 Chevelle, and a couple other friends, and one of the problems that I'm having, I have to figure it out, is, and if y'all have any input, is when you start this truck, cold, starts up fine, runs great. When you shut it off after normal operating temperature or a little bit higher, it makes it's very hard to start. It goes dragging, the starter drags or whatever. So it's probably an electrical issue. Let me give you a funny story. I actually brought it to somebody for them to tell me what they thought it was. A guy my mom used to deal with, and he's not too far away from here. So he said, oh, well, it might be timing. So you put a timing light on it. And, timing came out good. And hold on. So the timing came out good. And so when I went there that afternoon, told me the timing was good. But he said that he thought that he saw that the crankshaft was wobbling. So I looked at it, it looks like the belts were a little loose or whatever, because one of my belts was squealing, so that's why I'm replacing the belts. But he said that, the motor's got 198,000 miles. Maybe it's time for you to just get a new truck. I talked to a friend of mine, he says, oh yeah, it's probably internal wear. That's probably why it's doing that. Those two issues don't have anything to do with one another. Believe me, if my crankshaft was wobbling to a point that you could see it wobble, you would have a lot more problems than a hard starting issue when it gets warm. And the truck would not run as good as it runs. And it runs pretty good for 198,000 miles. So just tell me that you don't want to dig into it any further. I understand. But or you might just not know. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, I can do a lot of different stuff, but diagnosing sometimes is a hard thing for me because I really don't understand what, I guess it's a process that I got to go through. It's not that I don't understand, maybe I don't have the right tools or whatever, but maybe it's mostly time, truthfully. But let me switch y'all back around. Let me show you. I got the Firebird underneath the Firebird in the middle completed. Let me show y'all how that looks. It came out pretty good. Put on my glasses so I can see what y'all see. That's the drive shaft that I just redid right there. Rear end. Pan over. And that's pretty much about it, man. That's the all pan that I did a long time ago. Painted it. My transmission's in. So that's pretty much, the middle's done. So gotta start working on the pre-oil. I gotta put all the oils in the different rear end and transmission. Started working on pre-oil. Of course, I sanded it all down, and I'm gonna paint it and stuff like that too, just because that's what I do. You know, I mean, I got to give it to Fast the Cat, Wild Eyed Northern Boy, and a bunch of y'all. I love how y'all just dress up stuff that y'all make for your garage. So that's just as important to me as the cars, is my garage. So, you know. But that's what I got going on today. Just gonna fool with the Nissan for part of the day. I don't want to get too much into it because I got to use it tomorrow to go to work. But it's hot out here, fellas. It's very uncomfortable. You know, so I'm gonna get out the multimeters and start doing some readings, change the belts, do a radiator flush, take all this out, put some distilled water in, and probably flush it for a few days. Put that stuff in and just ride it around like that. Or I might do that. I don't know. It's just going back and forth to work, so it ain't that big of a deal. But here's the ground wire. Another thing I read in one of the forums, it could be coolant sensor switch. So I gotta look into that. You know, somebody else was having a problem with that. They got apparently two coolant sensors. One's for the gauge and one's for the CPU. I didn't even know this truck had a CPU. 1970 Chevelle told me it did. I don't even know where that thing's at. And that's a little bit I work on this truck. But, you know, I guess I'm going to have to get into it a little bit more to figure it all out. I know there's a lot of work that I need to do this truck. I know the power steering hoses are leaking. They got some leaks. I got to find them. I got to change the fluid in the clutch, the clutch cylinder. I got to change the fluid in the brakes. So I really haven't been working too much on this truck at all. Pretty much mostly my wife's car and other stuff. So you got to give it a little love every now and then. So I'm gonna sink some money into it, drill a couple of things, probably, you know, take off the wheel, check out the brakes, all the wheel bearings, stuff like that. I know it needs a complete front end rebuild, but I'm not gonna do that anytime soon. And, you know, new shocks and stuff like that in the back. It rides like a tank. But, you know. But that's all I got going on. Just want to tell y'all hello and have a great week. Later.